Hello, magnificent human beings. My name is Landon with Yoga New Mexico, where we focus on empowerment, alignment, and strength. You are in the right place, capable and strong. What are we going to do today? Well, it's Wednesday's educational piece, and we're going to talk about happy baby. And that's the theme of the week. So, happy baby is kind of a misunderstood posture, I think, because there's really a lot more going on than I think most people realize. We're going to talk about three things in happy baby, general alignment stuff, and then a certain way to do happy baby, and then another way to do happy baby. So if you're interested in this pose, this is the video for you. Stay tuned. I am going to roll the intro screen, and you should roll out your mat. Thank you all for being here. So let's talk a little bit about a small elephant in the room with happy baby, which is all these pictures we see on the internet of people with their hands grabbing so perfectly onto their feet and then pulling their knees all the way down so they basically touch the mat. Super open hips, super open hamstrings. And this is a small percentage of the yoga population. And I think it's important to be able to give some tips and adjustments and everything for this posture, because we think, oh, you have to have your hands here and you have to be doing this. And then inadvertently, you're out of alignment because you're trying so hard to reach something that's just maybe not attainable for your body type. Now, let's talk about the other side of things. Let's assume you are very flexible and you can get your knees all the way down to the ground in this posture. Then don't worry, because there are still a couple of great tips for you folks as well. I'm not hating on you really flexible people. I'm just saying I'm not there yet. So, but we all want to be that. We all want to be there, right? We all want to be as flexible as we can. Okay, so let's talk about common things that happen in this posture that you should avoid and not do. So, for people with really tight hips and hamstrings, we often see this. So, rounding of the back, lower back is lifted off even, and they're just kind of crunched in on themselves. And I think the main reason for this is because you hear grab for your feet, and so you reach and hunch forward and grab for your feet, and then when you try to come back, you're still arcing. I hope that makes sense. So, if you know that you can't keep your back flat and grab for your feet and keep these nice 90-degree angles, in your ankles and in your knees and all that, then just grab for your shins. And if this is still too much of a reach for you, then grab right here underneath your knees. So this would kind of be level 1. And this would be level 2. And then if you can still keep your back flat on the ground and grab for your feet, then go ahead. And that'll prevent that rounding and that hunching, because you really want to be able to relax your head on the mat. So that is the first tip. So make sure you are able to relax your head on the mat, and wherever you have to grab is perfectly fine. Next, I've seen this done both ways, and I think it comes down to personal preference. I enjoy having my elbows on the inside of my knees, so I think the most common mistake is people will have their elbows on the outside of their knees, but you have them on the inside, so elbows inside of your knees, hands outside to grab your feet. Now, as you become more flexible, this actually kind of goes away in a strange way, because you can bring things down even farther, and your elbows will actually go a little bit maybe farther than your knees. So it's almost a flexibility thing. And initially, though, If you are at this stage, I would tend to leave your elbows on the inside of your knees because it will kind of help to broaden and open those hips even more. So, also, always make sure to keep your feet relatively flat. So don't arc your feet and we're not doing like Padastasana where you have your hands, just grab for your feet. Hands grab for the outside edges of your feet. Okay, now the next thing is talking about two different ways to do this posture. So once you feel that, you're comfortable leaving your head on the mat, your back is relatively flat on the mat. And again, wherever you grab, if it's underneath your knees or your shins or your feet, it's fine. It doesn't matter because it's important that you still keep your back flat on the mat. The next thing we need to think about is one of two approaches to doing this posture. Now, typically in most classes, I think people hear happy baby and they immediately think, oh, yay, it's fun, play, nursery time, right? Like just rolling from side to side, happy as a baby. And this is cool. This is fine, actually. I would suggest to slow things down. So maybe if you are going to take this gentle rocking approach, is to inhale to one side, exhale, relax there, inhale through neutral, exhaling, coming on to the next side. So very gentle, really just giving, yourself some time to enjoy the posture since we're usually here in happy baby for a few breaths. And then the other way to think about this posture is what the bind does for you. Now, what I mean by that is we already have all this strength in our arms, right? We're binding onto underneath our knees, our shin, or our foot, right? So we have this strong arm strength that we're binding with. So because we're using that arm strength and we have that bind, then I encourage you to try to let everything else go. Relax your hips, relax your hamstrings. Don't rock from side to side. Take a very traditional hatha approach to it and just breathe in the posture. So strong arms, strong hands, to keep your bind, and then work with your breath in the posture to see how this starts to open up your hips and your hamstrings. So again, not rocking, not going anywhere, just holding here. So strong arms, right? So you have the bind, but then relax your hips, relax your hamstrings. Just breathe. Every exhale should be able to open up those hips, those hamstrings a little bit more. And taking that approach in your happy baby, in your class, because usually we hold happy baby, I think for at least a good, 10 to 15 breaths towards the end of your practice. Try taking that approach in your happy baby and see if it changes things. So if you're a rocker and a roller, then just chill and try breaths. And if you're in the minority of the percentage of folks who do happy baby and just breathe into it, maybe try rocking back and forth a little bit. So mix things up a little in your practice. Thank you so much for being here. I love all of you guys. Don't forget to share, like, comment, subscribe, throw this on your Facebook, whatever. I greatly appreciate it. Remember, you are a magnificent human being. You are in the right place, capable and strong. From my heart to all of yours. Namaste.